Hello and welcome. You're watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Abigail Carmelin bringing to you the Salesian news across the globe. South Africa is a place rich in history which has not yet been able to come to terms with the past. Apartheid, racial segregation has been definitively abolished, but social inequalities continue to be very strong. To be born out of a family that until a few years ago lived through the violence of segregation is really a big burden to bear. Unemployment, crime and school dropout continue to be phenomena involving these young people who are still suffering the effects of apartheid. Moreover, the legacy of apartheid, together with irreconcilable differences in its meaning, still hinders the effort to create a consolidated national identity and a coherent and inclusive social order. Townships, the ghetto symbol of apartheid, still exist and are more crowded than ever. And in this reality, many young people of color continue to grow up in situations of extreme difficulty. Salesians arrived in the country in 1896 and, as is their style, immediately concentrated their efforts to create real future opportunities for the most vulnerable youth. The children of Don Bosco know that in order to free themselves from a condition of social risk, it is first necessary to start from training, the key to access to a decent job and consequently to a peaceful life far from the risks of the road. The Sacrament of Presence is the guiding theme that accompanied the 6 meeting interviews organized by the Study Center Work of the Living Tabernacles in collaboration with the Conference of Salesian Inspectors of Italy training, which saw the participation of the Rector Major Lodovica Zanet, Father Lethal, Don Roberto Caroli and Don Andrea Bozzolo. This route reaches its last episode on Saturday, April 17 from 9 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. live on the Facebook page Salesiani Don Bosco Italia, with the in-depth study on the theme The Sacrament of Presence in the experience of two cooperating Salesians, Alexandrina da Costa and Vera Gritta. In the dialogue with Maria Rita Scrimeri, coordinator of the Study Center, Work of the Living Tabernacles, there will be an opportunity to discover how alive and transforming the presence of the risen one in the Eucharist is. This is not only for those who live communion with him with great intensity, as it was for Blessed Alexandrian and the servant of true God of Jesus, but for an immense number of people that this presence of Jesus' salvation wants to achieve. There is nothing more missionary than the Eucharist and nothing closer to humanity, even more suffering and distant than the mystique that is the living presence of God within those who open the door to him. The traditional solidarity walk of the Suezo per I Ponte di Venezia is postponed until next year. But in the meantime, the Social Promotion Association TGS Euro Group, promoted by the Salesians of Don Bosco, which animates the initiative, launches a new project, Su and Zo Detour, the guided tours of the Su and Zo per I Ponte. The official launch of this program took place on Sunday, April 18, 2021, live streaming on the association's Facebook page. Suezo per I Ponte has always proposed different routes every year in search of themes and points of view that are always different but united by the desire to discover the most genuine and original Venice. This year, the Solidarity Walk offers not a tour but a real detour in all the history of the historic city and itinerary that comes out of the ordinary routes and get lost away from the crowds in search of some of the lesser known but most lively and authentic places. On Wednesday, April 14, Monsignor Edilson Sos Nobre, Diocesan Bishop of Oeiras in the state of Piauí, Brazil, presided over an Eucharist in the Cathedral Church of Our Lady of Victory to give thanks to God for the arrival of the Salesians of Don Bosco in these lands of the interior of the Piauí. The celebration was accompanied by the parish priest of the city and a group of lay people and young people from the parishes. Don Gabriel Romero, Councillor for the America Cono South region, was present at the celebration to sign the act that officially starts this new Salesian presence and to accompany the religious who have started a few weeks ago to carry even further the Salesian charism and the missionary dream of Don Bosco. In the homily of the Salesian, Monsignor Sos Nobre stressed that this is a simple but very significant moment and that the arrival of the congregation in the diocese is a moment of spiritual growth. Our Salesian brothers will be able to help all the people of Oreras, especially young people, to meet more and more with the radiant light of the risen one so that it may be a reference in our lives. They are an economic and submissive workforce, easily replaceable, requiring little food, no wages and not knowing their rights, not protesting. They are children in slavery. More than 150 million children work in the world. Of these, almost half, more than 73 million, carry out dangerous jobs that put their lives at risk. And in the 21st century, at least 9 million children in the world are slaves. On April 16th, World Day Against Child Slavery, and the Salesians want to break the chains that oppress them. They are forced to work long hours with little rest. Most of them work in mines, agricultural estates, or as domestic slaves. Others are involved in armed conflicts, begging businesses, or forced into early marriages. Everyone is mistreated and many are victims of trafficking or sexual abuse. They do not go to school, they do not know their rights, or their families have been victims of deception. Salesians intend to continue to give visibility to these children who are constantly trying to help in Africa, Asia and America. The objective is clear that in the 21st century there should be a political and social commitment to ending slavery. Slavery has been officially abolished but still exists in the 21st century. It is present in at least 9 million lives of children working in domestic service, loading goods in ports, mines, factories, armed conflicts, prostitution, trafficking, child marriages and forced begging. In the vaccination campaign launched by the government of El Salvador, teachers and administrative staff of educational institutions have been considered in priority groups to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. In the week from 5th to 9th April, about 560 teachers and collaborators in the various areas of Salesian schools in El Salvador received the first dose of vaccine. All the staff enthusiastically participated in the scheduled appointment, accompanied by the Salesian priests who also received their respective doses in a general atmosphere of joy and hope. The country's Minister of Education has officially reopened the semi-attendance lessons, and in the coming weeks, each Salesian school will gradually begin the reopening, adapting to needs and taking into account the measures necessary to protect the health of students and teachers in this new phase. Don Alphonse Owodu, Councillor for the Africa-Madagascar region, inaugurated and blessed the new Convergent Media Centre of the Don Bosco Boys Town in Nairobi, the first such centre in the Salesian region. The Don Bosco Boys Town Convergent Media Centre (DBBTCMC) is in addition to the facilities already existing in the Salesian work, mainly to promote the talents of students, many of whom are interested in the media. Today, traditional and digital media are converging in one platform, so you need to understand them and learn how to use them. In addition to training on the creation of content for printing, audio, graphics and video for traditional media and various social media platforms, there is also a media education program aimed at various groups of young people, religious, teachers, trainers with a special focus on digital media. Given the widespread of smartphones, there is also training for the creation of content using such devices. Other additional topics which will be given to those interested will cover social media marketing, writing for social media, user experience, media innovation and podcasts. The Proyecto Salesiano Tijuana ACPST has been bringing some hope to Tijuana, Baja California, Norte, Mexico for 34 years. Today it is divided into 8 programs, 5 oratories, 2 educational institutions and a public canteen located in the city's most vulnerable and conflictual areas, and every month it serves about 30,000 people with food, medical and psychological services, legal advice, sports, cultural activities and basic education. During the pandemic, the PST was forced to suspend some activities in the educational part. It adapted to the protocol suggested by the government, while for masses, it followed the indications received from the Archdiocese of Tijuana. But the only place where the doors have never closed while always respecting the rules of biosecurity is the Salesian Refectory, Father Chava. The first batch of trainees in the Data Center Operations Management course formally graduated on April 11, 2021 at Don Bosco Skill Mission, Bangalore. Father Biju Michael, Regional Councillor for South Asia, presided over the program. The 23 graduates hailing from the Indian states of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Kerala expressed great satisfaction at the training and the homely stay at Don Bosco Skill Mission. Speaking at the occasion, Father Biju encouraged the young people to ensure that they always remained employable by continuing to acquire skills as they take up jobs in the industry. On behalf of the funding partner, ST Telemedia Global Data Center, Shankar Munisamy, Associate Director, informed the group about how the idea of partnership evolved and how surprised and proud he was to see the quality of the students with the training at Don Bosco Skill Mission. Father George Matthew, Executive Director of Don Bosco Tech, reaffirmed the commitment of Don Bosco Tech to skilling the needy youth for the requirements of industries such as data centers. Archbishop Emeritus Lucas Sirkar of Calcutta and founder of two religious institutes of Adoration Sisters of the Immaculate Heart of Mary and Sadhant Prayerful or Ascetic Brothers died 18 April 2021. Kolkata Salesian Provincial Secretary Father Jacob Irupakattu released a note saying, "Dear Conference, this is to convey another sad news, that of the passing away of Most Reverend Lucas Sirkar, SDB, Archbishop Emeritus of Archdiocese of Kolkata at 1 p.m. on Sunday 18 April 2021 at Aradhana Mandir, Krishnagar due to cardiac arrest. He was 84. Details about the funeral are yet to be communicated. Made Bishop of Krishnagar in 1984, Lucas Sirkar was appointed Coadjutor Archbishop of Calcutta on 14 April 2000. After the retirement of Henry Sebastian de Souza, he succeeded him on 2 April as Archbishop of Calcutta. On February 23, 2012, Pope Benedict XVI accepted the resignation request made by Lucas Sirkar, citing advanced age. Esteemed health experts came together in an effort to enable Papua New Guineans understand a bit more about the COVID-19 testing and vaccination situation in the country. A 2-hour COVID-19 talk session was held on Saturday, 17 April 2021 at the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Waigani. The talk, organized by the Catholic Professional Society of PNG, had as its theme, "Inform for our well-being" and focus on testing and vaccine. It was held as an online social media digital platform using Zoom to connect with participants in the country and abroad. Several more connected via the Facebook page of Radio Maria PNG. The 18th of April was marked as the New Priest Day 2021 with the theme, "You are a priest forever according to the order of Melchizedek." The day started with the Holy Mass celebrated by the three new priests, Father Silvanus Lingdor, Father Hampurwa Tinkan, Father Merkush Ishwari, along with Father Paul O. Lingot, Provincial of Salesian of Don Bosco, Shillong Province, Father Marius Thongniba, Maulai Parish Priest and others. After the Holy Mass, a small felicitation program was held with strict adherence to COVID-19 protocols issued by the Health Department. The program started with welcome speech by Riti Biam, member of the Seng Samla Maulai, followed by a welcome song by Seng Samla Maulai. A short message was delivered by Father John Zozamia, Vice Provincial, in which he said, "Due to the pandemic, everything was disturbed in 2020, but this year things are getting better. God's grace is greater than human follies." Thanking the different organizations from the Seng Samla to Seng Klongmi and Seng Rangba, he extended his gratitude to all for the prayer support for all the priests who are but humble servants of God. The program was also graced by a prayer dance performed by girls of Sacred Heart Convent, followed by the melodious voices of the Salesian youth movement with the song entitled "You Are the Priest Forever." After the song, a short message by Father Paul O. Lingkot, Provincial of Salesian of Don Bosco, Shillong Province, was delivered, in which he addressed all the priests as servants of God who were brave enough to say yes to God's call, for it's not easy to say yes, because once a person say yes, he have to live a life of commitment and conviction to his call. Father Paul also addressed the parents as courageous to present the best gift of the family to God by offering one's child to work in his vast vineyard. He urges the faithful to pray for more youths to offer their lives for the service of God, and that Don Bosco himself will lead all the priests in the chosen path that he had once walked. The program was concluded with the song by Sunnyside Choir, followed by vote of thanks delivered by Father Mirkush, and the theme song of Don Bosco led by Sunnyside Boys.
The dear Father Silvanus, Father Mirkush, Father Hamkarwa, and Father Mark, who is not here. Congratulations to 3 to 4 of you for having said yes to the Lord and to be His ministers wherever you are. And this is the gift that God has given to you. And that's what Don Bosco tells us. Don Bosco tells us the greatest gift that a family can receive is the gift of a priest or a religious in the family. Kering on the roads go on. Kajing I kabakau tam kabau play I. Hakayin kasem kajungi ki Kyrgyzstan Catholic. Kajing I John Ulindo ni kiremiam gomi nakayin kasem. Magnificent, marvelous, matchless love, how great, how sure, His love endures forevermore. Magnificent, marvelous, matchless love, how great, how sure, His love.
So viewers, with that we have come to the end of today's edition. See you again tomorrow at the same time and in the same channel. Thank you for joining us.